All right, fellas, it's fun Friday time. I'm excited to have you here. So let's dig into the word to get us started, okay? We're in the book of 2 Timothy this week. So 2 Timothy chapter 3, just 2 verses, 14 and 15, says, "But as for you, continue in what you have learned and have firmly believed, knowing from whom you learned it, and how from childhood you have been acquainted with the sacred writings, which are able to make you wise for salvation through faith in Christ Jesus." So guys, love those 2 verses, particularly for you fathers out there that are listening. Go back, listen to that spiritual kickoff. I unpacked those verses at length, spent a lot of time there, guys. Try to give you some tips so you can simplify and apply both of those verses to your life, okay? So spend some time right there. And then on our meat episode this week, it was a little different, but I hope you guys enjoyed it because I really wanted to spend some time talking about how this summer of 2023, I was able to go experience 2 camps, 2 very different camps. One's called Century Kid, one is called Fuge. But from elementary school was the first camp, and then middle and high school was the second camp. And just the impact that it had on me and the impact it had on my daughters and the other kids that were with us. I'm telling you guys, if you ever get a chance to go and serve in a capacity like that, it's just going to change everything. It's going to be such a blessing for you. Is it going to be an inconvenience? Probably, because you're not going to be able to take the vacation that you want to take. You'll be at this camp. But I'm telling you, if you are very intentional about this, you're just going to find such a blessing. And I'm going to tell you again, you heard me say it over and over, the true issue we have going out there, guys, is fatherlessness. We need more Christian men going to events like this, standing up. It can't just be volunteers by women, guys. You got to start stepping up. You got to start going. A woman is not going to be able to teach a young man how to be a man. They can't do it. It's not designed that way. We are. You are. You are handpicked by God to be the leader of your family. Lead them well. And if you can't go this year, fine. Plan for it next year. Get it on the calendar. You know, well, camp's not for me. Oh, who are you? Who are you? This could be a great opportunity for you. I thought that too. I thought, you know what, camp's not for me. But after going, I totally see, you know what, camp's for everyone. That's a chance for everyone to serve. It could be just what you're waiting for. So I really unpacked what that looks like at both the children's camp and the youth camp. Go back and listen to that. I mean, it's not just a bunch of fun stories. I try to give you guys some practical advice and things to think about there, okay? And just the impact that it had on the children. We'll talk about the worship, talk about the Bible study, OMC Day, mega fun relay, all that stuff, guys. Had a lot of fun unpacking that. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to hear more stories like that, let me know. I love sharing stuff like that, but I want to make sure that it serves you well, okay? Now let's get into our Fun Friday health, wealth, and self tips this week. For our new listeners out there, on our Fun Friday, we do a health tip, which we really focus on your mind and your body, either one of them. Your wealth tip centers in on career, finances, how to be a good steward, essentially. And your self tip talks about how to be better husbands and dads. Okay. So that's really where we're trying to dial it in at. Now, when you start thinking about the health tip, I want you to think about this from a standpoint. I think many of you guys will recognize it. When you go on a trip, so many times we're thrown off from our routine, right? And when we're thrown off from our routine, we're thrown off from our workout routines as well. So here's my challenge to you. Modify. You need to think about that and modify where needed, but stay consistent. So for the first camp, what did that mean? I had to take my weighted vest with me is what I did. And for those workouts, the first one was like a little bit of a run the first day. But then after I was able to connect with my buddy, we started just doing hikes and just doing rucks. And we got up in the early morning before the kids got up, before they got going. It was actually dark when we would go, but we were consistent. We wanted to get a workout in. Okay. Now for the youth camp, I told you guys about that. That was in the last episode. We would do the daily hikes. The first day was a run. The rest of the days were hikes. But we got up. We were intentional. We did not compromise on that. Right. And you have a new opportunity. Look at it like that. I had to look at it like that for me mentally. I had to think of it as a new opportunity for a new workout routine. And when I did it, everything changed. You know, my attitude about the workout changed. Was it my traditional stuff that I like doing? No, but that's okay. Just make sure you recognize that, you know, a trip can throw you off. So be intentional about modifying and stay consistent. Okay. Got to take care of that body, guys. And it's good for your mind as well. Now, from a well tip, here's something that you need to think about that I really didn't think about until this year. Got a budget for these camp guys. You got a budget for them. Okay, this is an easily missed line item in a lot of budgets because it tends to sneak up on us, right? Next thing you know, we just plop down a few $100 and we didn't even think about it. But if you take the time right now and plan out those expenses for next spring or next summer, it's not going to destroy that month because you can start laying aside some money. Because camps can be expensive. They can range from $100 to several hundred or even thousands of bucks, man. It depends on how leveraged you go for sure. So this is not something that you want to ignore. You want to be intentional about this. You want to be a good steward. Okay. So plan, save, and then exercise that stewardship by being a good budgeter around camps. Okay. Now, self-tip. This is a hard for me to even say, guys. I recently was in a talk, and the speaker, she was awesome. She was talking about, hey, when your child reaches to be 12 years old, when they reach to be 12, the time you'll actually spend with them, one-on-one time, is roughly 75% done. Think about that. Your one-on-one time with the ones you love the most, your children, is 75% done by the time they reach 12. Now, that didn't sit well with me. It's depressing. It really just rubbed me wrong. And I'm going to take it, I'm going to take that challenge head on because I refuse to let that be right. But I can tell you one thing. Taking that time to go to a camp like I mentioned, or other events, maybe it's not a camp, maybe it's like concerts and things like that. Great ways to build memories. But it only happens with intentionality. It's it. I know that beach trip that you really like or that island that you want to go to is cool. But if you're in the formative years of parenting, I encourage you and I implore you to really pray over this. Pray over it before you start making those future plans and plan it with Him. Let God guide you and lean into serving. If you lean into serving and come alongside and say, you know what, God, I'm just going to go do whatever you tell me to do. And you go to experiences like we've talked about this week, you're just going to be amazing what God does and how it's going to bless you in so many different ways just to be the hands and feet of Jesus. That's my encouragement to you. Look, that time passes. It's so fast. It's like a vapor. I look at Judah and Lily and how fast they're going, and my older daughters, Chloe and Ava, it's just like, man, I remember y'all when the older ones were this small, and it feels like it was yesterday. How did that happen? So guys, just want to think about that and really be intentional about spending that time with them during those formative years. So there's your health, wealth, and self tip, guys. You got that health one, trip, they can throw you off in that workout routine. I want you to be consistent and prolific in that. Wealth tip, I'll need you to start thinking about budgeting for camps, guys. Don't forget to budget for that stuff. And your self tip, be sure that you do all that you can to be intentional about spending that time with them, particularly around spiritual growth and discipleship. And Christian camps are great ways to do that, okay? Great ways to do that. Now, book of the week. I want to share this one with you guys. It's called Let's Talk, Conversation Starters for Dads and Daughters. It's written by Michelle Watson Canfield. Actually, the foreword was written by Dr. Meg Meeker. Meg Meeker, she's awesome. I've been on her podcast in the past, guys. And you can go check out our podcast page, the featured page, and you'll see all the different shows that I've been blessed to be a part of. But this is a great book. Kind of gives you some talk, some ways to get the conversation started, right, and to get you leaning into it. I haven't started using this one directly yet. I just got the book with my daughters, but I'm thinking for when we go on our monthly one-on-one, dates, this is going to be a great resource for me to use in particular because this is specifically written for dads. Okay. So go check out the show notes for that one. And we'll make sure we have a link there for you guys if you want to check that out. So you can just go straight to Amazon and get hooked up there. If you want to read more about it, we'll have that on our website too. So make sure you go there. And if you're looking for books, I just want to make sure you guys are aware. We do a book of the week every week, and we put all those books on our book of the week page. So if you're looking just for some good references or reading material for you or your men's group, go check that out. If you have any questions on any of those books, send me an email. support@thelionwithin.us. Would love to talk to you about the book, give you a resource, give you a referral, let you know maybe where you can even get a discount on the book or things like that. So make sure you check out our book of the week page. That's thelionwithin.us/book. Okay. Now, dad joke time. Let's get to our dad jokes for this week. So I got two good ones for you this week. So dad joke number one. I was reading a book about an immortal cat the other day. It was impossible to put down. So that was number one. Number two, did you hear about the watchmaker who is half Spanish and half Irish? His name is Juan O'Clock. So let me know which one you like, guys. Number one, number two. Number one, I was reading a book about an immortal cat the other day. It was impossible to put down. Number two, did you hear about the watchmaker who is half Spanish and half Irish? His name is Juan O'Clock. So let me know which one lands best, guys. Remember, eye rolls totally count when it comes to dad jokes, so that's okay. I know for me, being that cat one just jumps out to me this week. We'll see how you guys vote. Again, follow us over on Instagram, on Facebook. We try to put these out every week just to get a good laugh out you guys. And then we also have to put this stuff inside our community, so this is a great way to engage with us there. But the question I want you to think about this week is, you go into the weekend, how could you use your vacation time to serve the Lord? Maybe you need to sit down with your spouse, or just sit down with your calendar this weekend. Have some real quiet time and look at it over the next year. Say, okay, where do I need to be intentional about planning, spending this time with them? How can I do that? What does that look like? What do I need to change to make that a priority? And guys, if you lean into that, actually make that a priority and make that shift, I'm telling you, you're just going to find joy. Is it going to always be easy? No, but you will find joy. I promise you, you're going to have joy just by being there with them and helping them grow spiritually. And that, fellas, that is what spiritual leadership is all about. I'm telling you, there's just nothing like it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one as you move forward this week. Really think about sharing this out, particularly with other dads out there, and also sharing these types of episodes out with your church leaders. I'm talking about your children's pastors, your youth pastors, even your pastors. All right, share it with all of them, because there is definitely a need out there. The true issue we have in this country is fatherlessness. And I'm telling you guys, you can trace so many of the issues that we're fighting as a society, as a country, even within the church, back to the lack of fathers, the lack of men in the home. And we're not going to fix this overnight. It's not a quick fix, but the more and more men that, like you, that are listening right now to my voice, you have an opportunity wherever you're at to make a huge impact on the life of a young man. I'm just telling you, you do. You may not think it. You may not go, Chris, I don't know these things. I'm telling you, you know something, and you definitely know more than that young man knows. And if all you know how to do, for instance, if maybe one of your skills is you know how to change oil in a car. You know how many kids out there don't know how to change oil in a car? Or how to change a tire, right? I'm telling you, if you just take those little bitty opportunities, those little windows, and teach and lean into what God has shown you, then it's going to just be such a blessing to them, right? Maybe He's shown you how to throw a football, a good spiral. There's just things out there, or how to balance a checkbook. Or I'm just telling you, don't underestimate the gifts, talents, and abilities you have as a Christian man, and how they can benefit others. Okay, because maybe you're not gifted with sports. That's okay. Maybe God has gifted you in other ways. Maybe He's gifted you musically. I know some wonderful musicians out there. Look, use those gifts, serve others. That's what it's all about. All right, fellas, we'll leave you with that. Head on over to thelionwithin.us for all our resources. We'd love to see you in our community. Really want you to consider jumping on that daily spiritual kickoff, as well as our community. Or for you guys that are ready to level up and make this thing serious, head over and check out our Summit Leadership Development. Guys, that's what it's all about. That is where the iron sharpens iron. This group of men, they're going to be bringing it. And if you want to really get sharp, to really challenge yourself, and you are looking for that accountability, I know there are some guys that run from that. There's some guys that run toward it. If you're one of the guys that wants to start running toward it, we're going to help you. Because I'm ready to help you I'm ready to show you how to take the Bible, business, life, bring it all together. But they don't need to be separate. The man who you are, 24/7, can be the man you are when you're reading His Word. Does not need to be a difference, guys. And that's what the Summit Leadership Development is all about. It's all virtual. It's all online. So head on over to thelionwithin.us to get details on how to take advantage of that right now. All right, guys, we look forward to seeing you here in the future. Come back next week. Prayerfully, we'll have some more great episodes for you to serve you well, to keep you rocking and rolling, to be the leader God intends you to be. So have a great weekend. Stay after it. Stay in the Word and keep unleashing the lion within. Are you enjoying the weekly spiritual kickoff? If so, we are now offering a way to participate in our live daily spiritual kickoffs that happen Monday through Friday in our community. This is your chance to chat with me directly and other members of our community, to dive into Scripture and to leave with practical ways to simplify and apply God's Word to your daily walk. And here's the best part. You get all of this for just $5 a month. So for what most people pay for a breakfast meal, you can join us on this journey of spiritual growth and leadership, which will always lead you full. Our community is dedicated to supporting each other and pushing forward in our faith. Come join me in the Lion's Den and become the leader God intends you to be. Sign up now at thelionwithin.us and let's start this journey together. Remember, it's only $5 a month for this amazing opportunity. So visit thelionwithin.us so you don't miss out.